Christopher J. Garcia is 3-Minute Modernist.
Jean-Michel Basquiat has now officially joined the $100 Million Club. That's pretty rarefied air. As one of the most significant artists of the 1980s, in many ways, he represented the next step after pop. And the work itself, I usually see it referred to as Skull, but I think it's technically untitled, is very strange. And it is incredibly representative of Basquiat's work, partly because of, and I understand it's done in oil stick and spray paint, basically. What hits you just automatically is how this is the synthesis of art since 1945. This is a work which takes new figuration, abstract expressionism, pop, street art, and puts them all into a single image, which I could get why people would say this art is garbage, and I have heard more than one person complain about that. It's a skull, but the defined shape of the skull is done in black spray paint. I believe that Jean-Michel Basquiat is now highest auction record for a black artist in history. I believe he's also the auction record for the American-produced work. Rothko and I think Pollock all have significantly more valuable paintings once you adjust for inflation, but they also rarely come up on auction these days. So since that movement hasn't happened yet to get one of the big paintings from those three, we haven't seen their whole numbers go higher. The foreground is spray paint and the formation of the skull. We have the oil stick, which provides the coloration in the back, some of which is completely abstract, some of which is very figurative, and some of which is just doodle. There's some lettering that's been crossed out. This is obviously a work that is inspired by people like Warhol in the late 70s and very early 80s. And of course they were great friends. In many ways, Basquiat could have been the continuation of the Warholian art ethic. But what's amazing about this work is its Basquiatness, is the fact that it is a piece that if you look at it, you have a complete idea of what Jean-Michel Basquiat did, how he did it, and more importantly, how he saw his art. And you have to dig into it deeply, but to dig into it deeply, you have to dig into Basquiat, not necessarily for meaning, but for the fact that this is the era in which he lived. This is a turning point. Without Basquiat, you don't have Julian Schnabel, for better or for worse. And, there was a joke on one of the podcasts I listened to, Noisy Ghost, listen to it, Callow Media Empire. It was heroin, 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 money. That described the New York art scene in the and that's absolutely true. Sadly, with Basquiat, the heroin was always sort of present and robbed us of him. But what are you going to do?